Hello there. Welcome to the new moon in Gemini. So we have a new moon in Gemini very close to the solstice, which is the sun into Cancer. Every year on the 21st or 22nd. This year it's the 22nd. And so our new moon is sort of activating the solstice to me because it's very close by. Um, so Gemini sun and Gemini moon together. Holy crap. The Gemini energy is explosive and it's already a sign that loves to do everything all at once, that loves to multitask, that loves to meet people, that wants to try everything once, and is like a chameleon. So the moon in Gemini plus the sun, very flirtatious time of being playful and reinventing yourself. So if you're going out to do anything fun, you might want to just play around with your image, do something crazy, wear something you never wear. I've seen some friends lately dyeing their hair all kinds of blues and purples and different things. Um, self-expression and being playful. Um, Gemini would really be one of the signs that would rule fashion because it's so um, changeable and creative and taking a pulse of now and could be gone the next day kind of thing. So maybe it's going to get your playful side on. Maybe it's going to expand your social circle. Maybe it's going to make your phone explode with messages and phone calls and emails. Maybe it's going to up the ante with your dating life. Um, if you're already in a secure couple, it can be a great time to be playful and rekindle things. But we're going to take a look at some of the other planets as usual that are making up this new moon energy. So before we start, I wanted to say that I've got a tarot circles that run every 2 weeks. So the next one will be June 28th. And I teach in a particular way and I bring people into a deeper headspace. I facilitate it in such a way that everybody has the chance to go deeper with your tarot reading, but also a chance to open up your intuition or your channeling abilities during the circle, just by the way it's led, by the energy that it's led with. So what it is going around and taking turns, pulling a card and giving a reading to somebody, and you get a chance to ask a question. You also get chances to read other people, and we go around a few times. So you'll get some answers, and you'll also have a good chance, like I said, to go deeper into what your intuition is picking up for someone else, and you can have it validated because the people are sitting right there to say, oh yeah, that's pretty accurate, or yeah, I'm feeling that, or not. But you have a chance to reflect on your true abilities and practice. So don't be scared. If you know your tarot a little bit, you can come. If you're intuitive, you can come. If you want to develop it more, you can come. It's not an academic kind of discussion group of tarot. Those are great, but that's not what this is. So if you're interested, it's every 2 weeks, and the next one is June 28th, 7 p.m. Eastern, if you're interested. Other than that, I have a new space where I'm able to take people in person. And so there's a massage table there. So I've been back to do Reiki and certain kinds of spiritual work or mediumship sessions. If it's good in person, then I've got a space for that now. So just if that's what you're needing or feeling, then just message me. Otherwise, I have a solstice special for readings if you're seeing this. It's one question. You email me a question. If it's concerning yourself, send me your picture and a birthday and your birthday. If it's concerning someone else, or a property or something, I don't care, a company, you send me an image that relates to it. And I will channel what I get for you, and you'll get an email back with your question. So summer solstice special, I'll put the link down below as well. And otherwise, let's start this astrology reading. So here we go. All right. If it'll let me blow it up. That's okay. All right, so interesting configuration of planets this time. If you remember sometimes the other charts from weeks ago, you'll see this is quite unusual, the way everything is towards the left side and the bottom with a little line up here, but it's almost like making an opening or a mouth that's going this way towards the descendant or seventh house. So we have to wonder, well, what's going on here in this space since everything's clustered over here? It's just an interesting shape. It's interesting also, we talked about Gemini and what it can mean, versatility and socializing and lots of talking. And it looks like, again, something is sort of like an open mouth or an open hand or something focusing over here on the house of relationships in Libra. So, as we said, sun and moon close together in Gemini down here, 26 degrees. So almost at Cancer, almost falling on the solstice. And if we cast the chart for New York or Eastern time zone like I do, the rising sign is Pisces. So we've got mutable and mutable and mutable. Very changeable energy, very adaptable, very, oh, are you going to do that? Okay, so I will, oh, and then, so not a lot of firm plans, not a lot of fixed opinions or clarity, just flowing with it, last minute, maybe, spontaneous. So new moon is falling in the fourth house, sun and moon. What we might expect then is something to do with your home and your family life. The new moon could be a new chapter in your family life, in your domestic life, in your home. Could be anything that you want to initiate, but when it's Gemini, maybe it's conversations with family. Maybe it's maybe if it's difficult to have conversation that you would like, maybe you need to write. Or maybe you just write it for you. But that would be one thing that would strike me about the sun and moon in the fourth house. Lots of talking with family, bonding or resolving or inner resolving with family. And again, house and home roots of the fourth house could also apply to your house where you live now. So this could also be maybe not so much the neighbors, although it could if you've all been there a long time, because it's got that root feeling. Could be with your landlord, could be something that you're going to do even with the actual building. But it feels like in a nice way, despite the fact that it does have one aspect and one aspect only, which is interesting. The only thing aspecting our sun and moon is Neptune in Pisces, which is squaring it. Now, we don't really like to see Neptune squaring the moon because it can indicate hiding and lying, deceptions, sleight of hand, things that are not clear. So, as I said, if you're going to use this new moon energy to initiate conversations with people or family, then you might be addressing something that touches this subject of Neptune. Things that have not been said, things that have not been clear, things that should come up to be cleared in the light instead of being sort of murky and held inside or never mentioned. It could go really deep or not. It doesn't have to, but Neptune in Pisces wants to sort of stay in its creative and dreamy spiritual side and world of things. It doesn't really want to confront reality or has a hard time doing it. The sun and moon in Gemini might call that out. But those are two very difficult energies. Imagine somebody who's just talking up a storm, all excited, with some sort of like pink cloud overhead falling, It's like, well, cloud could just float on by. It doesn't doesn't want to come down to earth, doesn't want to like engage with that level of mental activity like the Gemini. So woo, spaced out. So you could have a difficult time clearing the air. Does it mean you should try? Well, it's up to you. Again, it could be inner. You could be dealing with your feelings about things that have not been clear between you and somebody. And you can at least get your own sense of clarity on it, even if nothing happens with another party or a whole family, for God's sake. For, you know, that's pretty heavy, tall order to ask. But needless to say, something that's been hidden and not dealt with is coming up. Now, what should we look at next? Well, all the rest of these angles that are much more prevalent than the sun and new moon. So over here, I'm going to jump over here because we have a conjunction of Venus and Mars in Leo together. Now that's going to make for some pretty strong energy, pretty strong personalities, pretty bold and confident. Can relate to leadership, being dynamic, being like a cheerleader, being very fiercely loyal and protective. Think about the lion roaring. It's like Venus and Mars there. The lion is roaring. Now, is he roaring in pride? Is he warning people? Possibly. Why? Because look at all the red lines, look at all the squares. So Venus and Mars in Leo, think of somebody, you know, regal, somebody or like acting celebrity, somebody who's got a presence that says, I am here, I'm here. Look at me. Don't mess with me. I'm here. I'll be good to you, but you be good to me. And then you square that off with Uranus. Uranus and Taurus over here. They're not going to like that. Leo energy is going to want things to roll the way they designed it. And they want to be in control of it. And when they are, they will make sure that it's wonderful, but it's going to go down the way they would like it to. And Uranus in Taurus is like, doesn't agree with the way Leo's doing it. Plus it's Uranus. It's going to go, oh, sorry. I changed that. I didn't follow what you asked me. I just went ahead and did something else. Now we're going to hear the lion roar, aren't we? So again, this is like the second thing that's giving me a feeling of like disruption to the plan, you know, last minute or oops, not what we thought. Disruptions to the plans. Just for any of you out there who have got anything big going on. What else is it squaring? Well, it's squaring Jupiter too in Taurus. Jupiter and the North Node in Taurus. Look how close they are now, 2 degrees, 6 degrees. When this hits exactly, I'm expecting we're going to feel some sort of event that's on a larger scale. Because these are collective energies. Jupiter's some people's, well, it's a personal planet, but it's still further out. And the nodes are like karma. They're telling us what direction we're all being pulled in. And the North Node in Taurus is like, please, let's just settle down and stop always going down the drama wheel and making more chaos and finding one more layer and one more taboo. Can we just like get off of this ride, please, and be stable for a while? This is what the North Node's trying to do. Jupiter in Taurus is pulling us there this year. Jupiter in Taurus is like really there's an influence of like, please just settle down, calm down. Please, let's just have something stabilizing and comfortable that we can count on. Uranus is still here. It's 21 degrees, so it's not hitting that, but it's still there and it's still going. So we have still a tug of war over like things feeling more stable and secure. So, but Jupiter in the North Node squaring off with Venus and Mars, less disruptive than Uranus for sure. It's less like, you did what? You know, sort of. It's more like an enthusiastic opinion that's different than what you wanted, but it's still framed in a expansive or fun or positive way because it's Jupiter. So let's say it's a big event and I don't know, but let's say it's a big party and Venus and Mars and Leo definitely wants it to look gorgeous and elegant, and maybe there's like a tent, or there's big curtaining somewhere, there's candelabras, or there's lots of beautiful flowers. And Uranus and Taurus is like, we don't need any of that crap. You know, just just have a picnic grounds. And Venus and Mars and Leo would be like, no, 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 no. And then they're going to get really mad. And Uranus might have just decided to like book the picnic ground behind Leo's back. Now, but Jupiter and the North Node won't do that. It'll be more like, oh, don't you think it would be just as beautiful if we had like a park setting, and we can just have like nice picnic blankets and people can bring food and we'll just have it like on the grass outside. We don't need to rent a hall. We don't need to worry about caterers and all that stuff. So you see, like one's a more harmonious, beautiful idea, but in a different direction. Whereas Uranus is like, screw this. I'm breaking the rules. I'm just going to do it anyway. And it's something you didn't want. so again, um, people wanting different things and tough to plan. Now, with the moon and sun in Gemini, though, there's going to be an awful lot of talking about it all. So let's try to raise the bar on our communication skills right now. Really be clear, really be honest and clear. Try not to get angry, just be honest and clear. Try to have good boundaries. So the other thing sort of throws a monkey wrench against Jupiter and North Node, though, is Pluto. Pluto's up here, retrograde in Capricorn, tugging us back, challenging Uranus, challenging Jupiter and North Node. Even though it's in Earth, they're all Earth sign, but by degrees they're squaring. It's going to be tough for that Jupiter and North Node to find this nice little comfy, cozy, secure, nesting kind of feeling that it's looking for, because Pluto is still going, no, 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 we're not done with this transformation yet. No, 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 it's not time to be comfortable just yet. And then Venus and Mars and Leo are going, well, I don't even want that. So, so yeah, all of you who are craving for things to just go back to normal, the way they were, stay the same, please stop changing. Sadly, that is not what time we're in right now. I feel it too. Everybody would like a rest from all of the change that's going on. We're not quite there. So Pluto is also ironically supporting Uranus. So that even more supports the whole, just going to do something in a different direction than you thought of, going to do it anyway. Whoops. Going to transform, going to change, going to challenge the status quo, going to just throw that monkey wrench in there. Everything is sort of supporting, like, don't get comfortable. Don't think things are supposed to be the way they were. Everything's very unsettling. We're in a very weird world. A lot of people feel like we're living in a different, we really feel we're living in a different world than before. And so it's tough. We're all sort of grieving. And I believe on some level, all of us are grieving and coping with like, what the hell happened with how we thought life was before the pandemic and how it is post-pandemic. And where the heck is this going? And so this Jupiter and North Node in Taurus is really trying to be like, let's just find a new normal, please, 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 and there's going to be a lot of pull towards trying to do that. Some people might achieve it, but there's still too much upheaval in the air saying, no, don't get comfy yet. Don't get comfy yet. So the other thing is, when Pluto squares the south node, the north node, it also squares the south node. And so it's trying to get us off of this Taurus Scorpio wagon, which is this push-pull for control between calm and stable and traditional versus like ripping open the bottom layers to look at deeper and deeper and deeper and darker and deeper, looking for the truth. And Taurus is like, could we please just stop that? I need a break. I need a nap. And Scorpio will be like, yeah, but why do you need a nap? What's behind the naps? Taurus like, would you just leave me alone? I want to sleep. And this Pluto is challenging this whole thing of like, one side wants maybe too intense an examination constantly with the node. The other one wants to just get off the wheel and, be done with it a bit too much, somewhere in between, you know, deep change and introspection versus a bit of stability. There's somewhere nicer in between we have to find. The South Node is also supported by Saturn. So that sort of does give more weight to the self-analysis, digging into the emotions. But Saturn is like a clamp down on the water. Saturn and Pisces, like trying to put a cage on a cloud, on a rain cloud. So it's a tough position for Saturn to be in. It's not solid. So, but that's part of the lesson. Saturn in Pisces is like learning that everything is fluid and everything is interconnected. So Saturn supporting South Node in Scorpio could be more philosophical, or, doing some therapy, doing some meditation, inner reflection. Saturn is also squaring off with Mercury here, which is in Gemini. So again, we come back to the Pisces and Gemini squares. Saturn squaring Mercury and Neptune squaring Sun and Moon. And so once again, Gemini is like, I really think we should talk about our relationship. Remember that time when you said this and I reacted that way? Well, I think this is why, and I think this is what we should do about it. And I read a book the other day. No, actually, it was a documentary that talked all about this. You might want to listen to the podcast on the thing. And Saturn and Neptune and Pisces are like, can you just pass me another like cigarette? Can I have another drink? Can I just like, don't talk to me. I got to think about it. I got to feel all it through. I haven't had a chance to process this on every level there is. So like, don't talk to me. No. Stop talking so much. Don't pressure me to answer you, because I have to feel this all deeply. I have to get messages. I have to connect to my spirit about this first before I know what's going on. Gemini's like, but we really should talk about it, So expect some of this in the air. What else do we have going on? Well, we've got Chiron here, the wounded healer in Aries. Who am I? Who the hell am I? Do I have a self? What is that? Am I selfish if I have a self? Is it okay if it's about me? Or is that being a narcissist? Chiron and Aries, squaring off. Sorry, pardon me. No, actually making a trine, supporting Venus and Mars in Leo. So some of you, the nice side of this new moon would be those of you who want to work on who am I and taking a stand, taking a shine with Venus and Mars and Leo. Some of you will be like, this is what I'm doing. This is who I am. I'm wearing this funky hat. and that's my character, and I'm going to have fun. And you'll stand out, and people will go, oh, or they'll be like, oh, cool. And the wound starts to heal as you feel like, oh, I asserted who I am. I'm not worrying about everyone else all of a sudden. I'm just being myself. And Venus and Mars will support that self-expression. So this would be the most fun part of the chart because Gemini planets can be playful too. So being playful and reinventing yourself a bit and being adaptable. Don't count on too many people with plans right now over this little period here. It really bodes well for being light and playful, silly, childish, not in a bad way, but childlike, I should say, childlike. If you want to work and bring out your inner child, in trying to heal something, that would be a great use of this energy. Let's take a look at our tarot now. And almost out of sage. Da-da-da-da. I think there's a bit more. Oh, there we go. Got a little bit. See it? There we go. So just cleansing. Just imagine this sage is in, on, and around you like it is with me. And we'll just cleanse the cards. It's always good to smudge or cleanse your divinatory objects, whether it's, you can do that with gems that you wear to cleanse the energy that they've absorbed. You can do it with your cards. You can do it with something that you wore that you feel it's got just like a sticky vibe on it. Anything, you can smudge it. And I find this time of year, it's like a nice time to do it. We're here in Canada anyway, Montreal, we're still sort of spring cleaning, even though it's almost summer. So as you go through your things, as you do your gardens, as you clean house or go through a garage or whatever you're going to do, burn a little sage, smudge it, cleanse it. All right. And this just breaks the old energy in the cards. I'm going to give a little tarot lesson, and I'm going to talk about some pet peeve of mine. So for years, people shuffle their cards like a blackjack dealer, and they slap them together. This is not the way to, it's not the way to do a tarot. When you break the cards, for years I would do this before starting a reading and shuffling, and all the cats in the store would jump, right? And I went, oh, that's what's going on. You're clearing the energy from the deck. When you break it, you're clearing. When you read for somebody and you're focusing on them, you don't want to break the energy and then start again, break and start again. You want to break it, and then you want to put the energy in as you're focusing. So you shuffle like this. So many tarot readers do the blackjack style. And I realized, and I even spoke to a guy who used to deal casino cards. And he said, yeah, you slap the cards to break out the last guy's luck. So there you have it. Let's take a look at our cards for this new moon solstice time. I'm extending it to the solstice, even though it's the 18th and the 22nd, because I think we're going to feel it. I think we're going to feel it like for a few days, 5-6 days. All right, so our first card is the Prince of Cups. So remember we said Pisces. This guy might be Pisces. It could be Cancer. And we said, being adaptable and not being as predictable with plans, and being a bit more like, can I just have a nap? I don't really feel like dealing with this right now. Or taking a drink instead. That's this guy. He's a sweetheart, and he's got all the makings of being a wonderful boyfriend or husband or dad, or he's caring and giving, but he's not sure of himself enough yet. So he tends to not commit. And then he causes a lot of frustration to people because He doesn't know what he wants. So he can't tell you what he wants. So he can't step up the way you want him to. So even though he's a sweetheart, he ends up hurting a lot of feelings. Our next card is the 10 of discs. So there could be some money coming in for some of you. Some of you might be thinking about maybe tax money's still coming in. Maybe there's a bonus at work. Maybe there's investment money, inheritance money. Sometimes it can be a loan, but you might be considering asking for this, or it could land on your lap. But think about whether there's something that you need a chunk of money for to make it happen. Or maybe some money you've been waiting for will come in. So I don't know if you can hear the dog freaking out in the backyard, but anyway. Ooh, nice cards. We have the High Priestess. So whatever's going on with well, it makes me feel like whatever's going on with the Prince of Cups and the money, it's sort of meant to happen the way it is. If you need to let go or have a talk or set boundaries with this, I feel like all I ever talk about is boundaries, my God. But I mean, when somebody is not reliable, you have to. When somebody's not committing, you have to. You know, if you're waiting for money, um, if you need to ask for money or you're waiting for money, the priestess is saying, like, do it, ask, follow it up. It's meant to be. Trust your gut here. Don't leave things just dangling in the wind right now. There's too much energy of like talking about it, talking things through. But the priestess is always like trusting your gut. So if you're getting a message about anything to do with your finances or about a person that you find sort of nice but maybe a bit flaky sometimes, you trust your gut about it. Oh, nice. Next, we've got the Fool. We've got a nice new chapter, new vision of life beginning. Well, basically the Fool is a call to action. You have to have a vision and you get a call to action, and then you begin the hero's journey. The Fool is like the hero. And just like the fairy tales, something happens and you get called to action. I must do this. I'm feeling I should do that. I'm feeling compelled. I've got a vision of how this could be different or of what I want. And you're going to go for it. You need to go for it. Oh my goodness, we got the Ace of Wands after that. You have the will, you have the energy. There will be excitement or motivation around you for what you decide to do with this vision. There'll be other people around to support it or help. I'm not talking about bail you out, do it for you. I'm talking about like assist, you know, cheer you on, offer things here and there. So this is a really good time if you're ready. Oh my gosh, 8 of Pentacles. So things are going to grow nice and slow and steady, which is the way you want it, really. I mean, a lot of people seem to want things instantly, but I don't think we really do, because when things happen too quickly, we usually don't know how to adjust. We usually find it too overwhelming, even if it's a good thing, like sudden money. Lottery winners usually screw it up. They usually spend it all way too fast because they can't handle going from the paradigm of scarcity that led them to all the lottery tickets to it actually arrives. And they don't know how to handle it most of the time. So it's the same thing with your big vision, your big dream. It doesn't even have to be that big, but whatever you're thinking of launching into place, it looks great, but like it's going to go slowly and steadily, which is wonderful. Which is wonderful because then you'll have a chance to get used to it and integrate it and make it work. And it also shows some longevity to what you're going to do. So this really couldn't be better. Oh my goodness, the Justice card. Something really good's going to come out of this. This could be some sort of offer, some sort of official agreement. Could be a contract. You're offered to do something more officially that you're either, paid for or recognized for. It could be Maybe what you are dreaming of doing is going to require getting something official, official papers, permission, a lease. But the thing is, like after this burst of energy and this slow growth, there's going to be a chance to really make something more formalized, which solidifies it even more, which is wonderful. And if you do need to get any licenses, permissions, paperworks with your dream, then take a really research into that so it doesn't become like a big surprise down the road. You know, doesn't have to be a setback if you've thought about it in advance. Yeah, next card is Ten of Swords, which is not good, but I don't think it's I don't think it's going to turn out to be a bad card when we pull the next one. Ten of Swords can, it says ruin. It would be a state of like, usually like mental fatigue and anguish. So I'm going to pull the next card before we discuss how that could really go. Yeah, see. Okay, so the final card is the universe. So I would say with these three cards, make sure they're in the right order there. I would say something's going to ask you to step up and make your dream more concrete. You have to commit to it officially. Then you might find that you are bombarded and flooded with every thought and idea you've ever had. Sorry, that's Ten of Swords. Mental anguish at the universe. You're putting an old life to a close. The Ten of Swords could be all kinds of loose ends. Could be things that you need to decide and let go of, get rid of, in order to bring an old chapter to an end, because the Justice card with all the rest of these are bringing you into a new chapter of your life. And so your proverbial between the Fool, you've got the Fool and the universe, you've got the beginning and the end of a large cycle. So for those of you ready, you're really at a turning point. You're at the 180 point, and be prepared to back yourself up and make some plans. Make sure that nothing's going to suddenly get in its way, but then also be prepared that you are very likely going to feel some overwhelm or some grief as you move forward into that next chapter, because you'll have been, it's like the lotto winner thing again. If you won the lotto and you've been doing scratch and wins for 10 years and you've been letting things go in your house and you can't afford this and that, all of a sudden you win that $30 million jackpot that they just had. I mean, that's so surreal anyway, that much money, it's surreal. But all of a sudden you could afford anything. You could afford a brand new house. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna like stay in your old house with all your stuff and your clutter? You're gonna go through it? Are you gonna throw it out? You're gonna start all fresh? And even though that can sound exciting, it's actually pretty overwhelming. So that's the kind of feel of it. Justice card, when it comes to love, could be like a committed relationship. The universe can be, oh, it's the end of the chapter of me being single. Okay, well, you've been wanting to meet somebody, but Ten of Swords would be like rehashing all the things that you do in your life and your freedom and all the things that you're relinquishing in order to go into this next chapter with somebody new. It's not bad, it's just a little overwhelming. I'm liking this reading. Let's just pull cards for each sign now, shall we? Sake of a more interesting question. Well, let's ask, what's your vision? What's the vision for your sign? It's the highest vision right now for your sign. And then you might draw from some of it. What would be the highest vision for your sign right now? All right. I think I need to light something else before we start. I'm going to light a little Santo. Okay. There we go. So What's the highest vision to hold for your sign right now? Aries. We've got the lust card, the strength card. Highest vision you could hold would be to have more faith in your own passion and desire and your ability to handle it. So it would be allowing yourself to feel more deeply into what you actually desire and to trust that that passion will lead you towards what you need to do. And again, this sounds like something, oh, but that should be great or easy. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. The deeper you tap into your desire, the more emotions you stir up and the more potential you have for old feelings, old stories, old beliefs to be confronting you. And so this is like, this is an ultimate trusting of, well, it's sort of a sexual card, isn't it? The way she's lying back on the lion's back with her long hair, just bearing herself, reaching up for this, essence of all this change and passion, because it's surrounded by snakes and light. This is like a gigantic bursting transformation card that can play out in passion or sexuality, creative inspiration. It's the kind of thing like a moth to a flame. It could burn very brightly and quickly. It could be almost dangerous. It doesn't have to be, but it could. So what it's asking you, Aries, is your highest vision would be to get in touch with what your deepest desires actually are. And to wrap your head around how you can tap into that more in a safer way. Yeah, wow, what a message. Taurus, what is your highest vision? Yeah. 9 of discs, gain, of course, money. Well, I just want to laugh. Sorry. It's like the highest vision is, yeah, I want lots of money. Okay. It's not just about greed, though. It's not just about accumulating money for the sake of it. Taurus wants to accumulate and have enough wealth that they know that they could take care of themselves and the other people they love, because they intend to share it or provide for those around them. So I'm going to challenge you more and ask yourself, like, is there something that you need to do or want to do that would allow you to be more of a provider to yourself and others? And what could that look like? And what might you need to do to raise the bar to that level? So it's not just about personal gain. Deep. All right. Gemini, what is your highest vision for your sign? 6 of Wands, victory, please. Jupiter in Leo. Yes, you want to succeed. You want to win something or succeed at something. But again, look, there's 6 wands and there's 2 at the top, not just one. Very Gemini duality. This feels to me like the highest vision here is bringing a group or a team to succeed, a partnership to succeed. Your victory is in tandem with others by working with others in partnership or teams. It's not personal as well. So if you can think about creating a good balance of partnership or a great balance with the right team, because part of you wants to bring something to fruition. You want it to thrive because it's exciting to see something manifest that you're working together with people on, and it grows and it works and people receive it well. That's what you're looking for. Cancer, what is your highest vision for your sign? Ooh, we have the witch. Well, art, which is temperance in most decks. Well, she is cooking at a cauldron, or she's brewing a potion. And Cancer does rule things through the stomach. And a lot of Cancers could be herbalists or witchy people. Now, your highest vision is actually that you are creating, and I'm going to say manifesting again. You are setting things in motion in this cauldron, but the timing is greater than your own, and it includes more people than just yourself again. Boy, that message is strong this time in this reading for everybody. Higher visions are not all about us. They include others. That's a very Saturn and Pisces thing to say. Anyway, that's coming through strong. For you, Cancer, you just set about doing your little garden, your little potions, your little mixtures, your little introductions, your little playful, mischievous side that puts this beside that and these people in that room, and rearrange things in a certain way or cook things differently. You're cooking up something here. You're setting something in motion, and it's going to activate or alchemize others around you. So you are in a very prime time to manifest things for yourself and for other people. And that's pretty exciting. So what do you want to put out there to manifest? What do you want to sort of wake and shake? And do it in a fun way. I love that. Leo, what is your highest vision? The Wheel of Fortune. You would like the tables to turn. You would like to have a sudden breakthrough. You would like to rise, but you would like to do it. You would like it to happen almost by fate, not by drudgery and hard work. Sorry, but that's true. You want some sort of magic. You want some sort of fate or blind luck. Doesn't mean you won't have been working for whatever it is, but part of you wants to manifest that sort of lucky break or that breakthrough. And you've got to access higher dimensions for that to happen. The wheel is spinning, and above the top of the wheel, where you see the Sphinx, is another line right around her, right through her head, where there's a higher plane, where there's geometry up there and stars. So if you want this to happen, you have to be working on a different plane than the average Earth plane, Earth kind of rules. You have to believe in energy work and alignment. You have to activate something higher if you want that to happen. You have to ask your inner self, higher self, your spirit guides, what would you like me to do to realign my life? And then you'll start to see things happen as if by magic or as if by luck. Gosh, these messages are great. Okay. Virgo, what is your highest vision? Of course, we have success. But also this card always has a feeling of healing as well. You want to feel well inside and out. You want to feel that you've got space to breathe, to think. You want to feel well surrounded by the people, by a positive circle of people around you. You want to have protection so that not just anybody gets in. And from that space, you will do amazing work, amazing healing, amazing inner work, amazing writing or art or research or whatever it is that you desire to do. So your highest vision then is like, really ask yourself, am I well surrounded? Do I have enough headspace or personal space to get to the deeper work I really want to be giving to the world? Woo! That almost gives me shivers, this one. Woo! Gosh. Okay. Libra, you're next. Libra, what is your highest vision of the world right now? And there's that wealth card. Well, ultimately, Libras want to be very secure. They want to be comfortable, surrounded by beauty and security, to feel well. Because what they are good at and what they would love to be doing the most is adding harmony and beauty to the world. But in order to do that, they have to be operating from a place of that in the first place. So the challenge would be to cleanse or purify or beautify your own environment, to stabilize your own finances so that you get to this feeling of like, now I'm good. Now I can extend my gifts out into the world. I can bring that stability and that beauty to you and to people that you love, because you do want that. You want to inspire and you want to make environments more beautiful, harmonious, peaceful, conducive to higher, loftier, more conceptual states of mind or projects. But you first need the core stability of it, of things in yourself first. Scorpio, what is your highest vision for your sign? Ah, Ace of Swords, mental clarity, mental clarity. For that to happen, you need to trust that you have thought things through, analyzed as many angles as you can, and it's safe to call it as you see it. And if you're still disturbed by something that you feel you still have to weigh from every angle, that you're not at peace with it yet because you haven't had your moment of clarity, then you might want to bounce it off somebody or speak to somebody, because it would be lovely if you had more inner clarity and peace about who you are, what you think, or how certain things or people around you are as well. Again, so that you can turn your attention towards deepening your relationships, even if that's your own spiritual relationship to yourself. But if there's things around you that you don't have your mental clarity yet, this would be your highest goal, is to get to this lovely light bulb moment where it's like, I know what I think, I know who I am, I know how I assess this. Sagittarius, what is your highest vision for your sign? We have the Judgment card, or the Eon. Well, this represents taking a definitive step that only you can take and only you can decide. Nothing exterior is going to come along and tell you. You're the one making the judgment here. So I suppose your highest state then would be to get to that level of confidence where you step forward and make a decision, or you might help other people in making decisions because you come out and say, that's what I believe it is. That's to the best of my ability. That's where I stand on the matter. By taking a stand, you'll change the world. But first you have to get clear on your own stand. And it takes courage, and you have it. So yes, what do you need to take a stand with for your higher vision to happen? Whatever that is, you might need to come out and declare something, literally like coming out of a closet, or stop being in the backgrounds weighing things when you actually know what you think. That's what needs to be activated for your higher vision to start to come true. Capricorn, what is your higher vision for your sign? Okay, you have interference. Jupiter in Gemini. Well, your your higher self would not want interference. So let me see. The higher vision for your sign. Well, it would be obviously eliminating interference. Dissent comes to my mind. Dissent. You don't want, how do I say this? In the interest of being open-minded and open to everybody's stance or ideas, there's a limit before people start walking all over you and trashing everything you're building and doing. That would be the dissent or the interference. So, your highest vision then is like, how can you find a way to lead that is inclusive enough, but still is honoring you as well? That's a tough one. That's a very tough one, depending on what you're leading and who's involved, how many people are involved. Could be your own little family that you're leading. Could be a team at work, or this could apply even globally when we've got Pluto in Capricorn. How do we let people lead? How do we let governments or whoever be in charge enough, hear everybody's voices, but still take a stand and lead that is respected enough? Otherwise, there's dissent, and then it all topples. And we're sort of there in society. But we're talking about individual Capricorns right now. How can you find a way to lead and feel some sense of authority, listen to others, but not let them trample on what you also envision? You're finding this balance. That's really a high-level lesson. Aquarius, what is your, excuse me, I think I have like mosquitoes everywhere here. Aquarius, what is your highest vision for your sign? Indolence, Saturn in Pisces. Well, oh boy, you're gonna hate me for saying this one, but your highest vision is that you actually wish that nobody would suffer. You hate seeing people suffering. You hate seeing animals suffer, people suffer, the planet suffer. And some side of you is in despair that people aren't doing enough about it, never have. So your highest vision would obviously be to participate in something that alleviates this in some way in the world. for whatever you could, whatever your part is to play, whatever you feel you could handle. So instead of withdrawing and saying, you know, the world is a mess and it'll never get better, and so why bother? That's indolence. Feeling isolated and alone because, well, nobody's cares, nobody's doing anything about this. So that's not a high vision, right? The highest vision is, what part can I play to bring people together? What part can I play to help people? What part can I play to help include people? How can you bring back some hope, some accountability? Yeah, the world is there right now, isn't it? So your higher vision is, how do you participate in the world again to make it better? These messages. Okay. Finally, Pisces, what is your highest vision for your sign? Oh, how apropos, the Hangman. Is it even a Pisces card? Yeah, I'm not sure. Doesn't have it on there. So your highest vision is sort of what people crap on your sign for, is being a martyr sometimes. However, the Hangman is making a sacrifice in order to get to a higher level in himself or herself. That sacrifice is going to be slow and steady and painstaking and long. And there's enormous learning and shifting of paradigm and perception that's very deep along the way. And people are going to misunderstand and think you're stuck, or how come you can't just let go or walk away or fix it quickly. And they're not going to want to hear about what you're doing and the depth of the sacrifice you're making. They might call you a martyr. Thing is, a martyr is somebody who is sacrificing themselves and feeling like a victim and just bloody miserable and feels victimized by the sacrifice. The Hangman is choosing it. Then it's about service. So your highest message would be, in what way do I show true service and make some sort of sacrifice in order to achieve true service? And that means whatever it is, you believe in it enough, you're willing to do it for the long haul. You're willing to be misunderstood because it's worth it. If you've got any traces of feeling victimized or angry, that's not it yet. It needs to be cleaned up in your mind somehow. That was Those were amazing messages today. So I wish you all a wonderful new moon and solstice. There's a lot to think about. There's some sort of gateway of something opening for this to be such a high vibe. Now, if you need a session, if you'd like some help, if you'd like to join anything of mine, all the links are down below. I wish you a wonderful solstice passage, and I'll see you again for the full moon in July.